Hello and welcome to what is a very special video with two special cars. The car to my right is the Aston Martin DB9. It's a 2007 car. The car to my left is the Aston Martin DBS. This is a 2009 car. The DB9 set the benchmark with Aston Martin, but the DBS took it to another level. In today's video, we will be covering the performance of these cars, the design, the styling, the interior, important one, the driving feel, and finally the verdict of which one I would choose. The DB9 is all about the subtleness. The body lines are smooth and sleek. There's no aggressive styling. The car's sat upon 19-inch alloy wheels. They're finished in silver, which again, it's just a classic subtle look for the car. There's nothing obnoxious, there's nothing over the top about it. And from the rear, the car does get a subtle boot lid spoiler, but again, it's nothing over the top, it's nothing obnoxious. It's something that's synonymous with Aston Martin's heritage, and from the rear, the car, you can instantly tell what it is and what it is all about. Now, the Aston Martin DBS, on the other hand, is something that's slightly different from the DB9. The body lines are much more aggressive. They're much more sculpted. It's got carbon fibre touches throughout, and it's got bigger bonnet vents. This car is finished in quantum silver, by the way. It is the 2009 car, remember, so it does have 2 years on the DB9 we have over there. The car is then sat upon 20-inch alloy wheels, and these are diamond cut as well, so something else that is slightly less subtle than what the DB9 was sat on. Get the different body kit as well. The side sills are more aggressive, and that's what the DBS is all about. It's not just as subtle as the DB9. The spoiler on the rear is then also extended. It's a bigger spoiler than the DB9, and the entire rear diffuser on this is made of carbon fibre. Now, interestingly, to start the Aston Martin DB9, you actually get 2 keys, well, 4. So you got this key, which unlocks the car, it locks the car, the normal stuff, but then to actually turn the car on, you use the more manual key. The key goes in the ignition on the DB9, you switch it on, foot on the brake, and you then push the start-stop button just in the middle there. That of course turns the car on, and doesn't it sound incredible? Now, the Aston Martin DB9 and the DBS are actually both powered by a 5.9 litre V12. But what's interesting is the DB9 produces 450 brake horsepower. The DBS has got an extra 60 brake horsepower, producing 510. Now, the difference in 0 to 60 times, it does make a little bit of a difference. The DB9 does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, whereas the DBS is nearer to 4.3. Both very quick cars, and both have got an incredible sound, so I don't think you'd be disappointed by either of them. Now, both the DB9 and the DBS have got similar controls in the way that you drive them. On here, D for drive, N for neutral, R for reverse, and P for park is all fairly standard across the Aston Martin range. And for a 2007 DB9, the sat-nav and infotainment screen it's probably as you would expect to be. It's not fantastic. I'd personally be sticking my phone on the windscreen if I did need a sat-nav. But nonetheless, you've got your radio controls on here, which are all very easy to use, and none of it looks out of date at all. You of course get the fully leather seats, the leather steering wheel, the dashboard is leather, and then you've got a contrast stitching as well. The exciting parts are the paddles on the back where you can switch the car into manual mode, and if you want to get back into auto, you simply push D again and it'll switch it on back for you. Your sport mode is then down here. That's sort of the exciting one. It holds the revs out longer and really brings this car alive. And I think as a thing to drive, it's actually surprisingly comfortable and surprisingly easy. The power delivery is relatively smooth. There's nothing relatively harsh about it. Don't get me wrong, you're not riding on air suspension, but it's certainly not uncomfortable. So I think if you're looking for something that's slightly more understated and something that you can sort of cruise about slightly unnoticed, then the DB9 is a good choice. Now the Aston Martin DBS is, as you'll see, slightly different. You still get the fully leather dashboard with a white stitch, but the initial difference you'll notice is the key. On the DBS you get the famous glass key, and to start the car up there's no second key. All you do, you put it in there, foot on the brake, and you start it up. And instantly we're greeted by a very similar noise to the DB9, but the DBS is actually slightly louder than the DB9. The other thing you get in the DBS is you get the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which gets the pop-up air vents on each corner of the dashboard, which again is quite cool. But would it be a deal breaker in a V12 Aston Martin? Not really, no. I'd say the instant difference I can notice from the DB9, just driving the DB9, is that the DBS is definitely that little bit louder, and at the moment we're not even in sport mode. The steering wheel is then obviously Alcantara. You've got the piano black trim in the middle, which is all familiar, but then the Alcantara's on the seats, it's also on the door cards, and the carbon fibre starts to become apparent. Even from inside the cabin I can see the wing mirror connecting caps, which are in carbon fibre. The grab handles here, carbon fibre, and of course the Alcantara wheel with the centerline does make it feel that little bit sportier. Everything else about the interior is then, I would say, relatively similar. All your radio controls are on the bottom half of the panel here. Your drive is then on the buttons again, with the start engine and the stop engine, of course, all being on the middle. There's no key on this at all. But the thing that I didn't mention, which is super cool, not all too important, but you get a pen on both of the DB9 and the DBS, and it's got its own little circle there, so you can click that in and the pen comes on out, and you've got your own Aston Martin pen, which is super cool. And of course once you're done, click it back in and it's got its own designated slot, which I do like. So which Aston Martin would I pick? I think they're both fantastic examples and they've both got unique personalities. I think the DB9 would be a better pick if you were looking for an elegant, perhaps more comfortable ride. The DBS is probably the choice if you were looking for a sportier, more aggressive Aston Martin experience, but I would happily take either of them. My name is Will, this was ALX Specialist Cars, and if you'd like any more information on these two Aston Martins, they are indeed for sale. For more videos like this and more video reviews of the other cars you've spotted, please do like and subscribe our videos, and I'll see you next time.